Most people over 60 are eating breakfast every single morning and slowly destroying the very muscles keeping them upright. Not because they eat too little, because they eat the wrong things in the wrong order at the wrong time. And while they pour that orange juice and reach for that toast, their leg muscles are quietly shrinking, day by day, meal by meal. What I am about to share will completely change how you look at your morning plate, because there are 7 specific breakfast foods that do the opposite. They signal your body to rebuild, restore, and strengthen the muscles in your legs, starting within hours of your very first bite. And the number one food on this list is so powerful that a study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found it increased muscle protein synthesis in adults over 60 by 40% compared to those who skipped it entirely. 40%. And almost nobody is eating it correctly. I am Dr. Margaret Ellison, a physician specialized in senior health with over 15 years of dedicated clinical experience. I have worked with thousands of men and women over 60 who came to me frustrated, weak, and convinced that what they were feeling was simply the price of aging. Stiff legs in the morning, trouble climbing stairs, that heavy, unreliable feeling in their thighs and calves. What I discovered over and over again was not aging at all. It was breakfast. Specifically, the absence of what muscles desperately need during the most critical rebuilding window of the entire day. What I am about to share goes against what most people assume about morning nutrition. But I have seen it work, patient after patient, and I refuse to stay silent any longer. If this sounds like valuable information, go ahead and hit that like button right now, and let us begin. Here is what is happening inside your body that nobody is telling you. After the age of 60, your body loses its ability to efficiently use dietary protein to build and maintain muscle mass. Scientists call this anabolic resistance. In younger adults, eating a moderate amount of protein triggers a strong muscle-building response. But after 60, that same amount of protein barely moves the needle. The threshold rises significantly. Your muscles become resistant to the signal. And if you do not understand this, you will keep eating the same breakfast you have eaten for 30 years, watching your legs get weaker and wondering why. The problem is compounded by something called the overnight fast. While you sleep, your body is not resting. It is repairing. Your leg muscles specifically go through cycles of breakdown and rebuilding every single night. By the time you wake up, your muscles have been in a fasted catabolic state for 7 to 9 hours. The first meal you eat either continues that breakdown or powerfully reverses it. That window, the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking, is arguably the most important nutritional moment of your entire day for muscle health. Research published in Frontiers in Aging found that adults over 65 who consumed the right combination of nutrients at breakfast preserved up to 35% more lean muscle mass over a 2-year period compared to those with poor morning nutrition habits. 35%. That is the difference between walking independently at 80 and relying on someone else to help you stand. This is not just about looking stronger. When leg muscles weaken past a certain threshold, fall risk triples. Cardiovascular strain increases. Metabolic function declines. Your circulation suffers. Everything is connected. And it all starts or stops at breakfast. Before we continue, I want to ask you something. When you sit down for breakfast in the morning, what does your plate usually look like? Is it mostly carbohydrates, toast, cereal, pastry? Or do you intentionally include protein and healthy fats? Type protein in the comments if you already think about protein at breakfast. Type carbs if most of your morning is bread, cereal, or fruit. I read every single comment, and your answer will help others realize they are not alone. Now let us go through the 7 breakfast foods that rebuild leg muscles after 60, ranked from the least to the most powerful. Number 7, Greek yogurt. This is where we start, and even in 7th place, Greek yogurt is dramatically better than most things people are eating at breakfast. The key here is the protein density. A single cup of plain full-fat Greek yogurt delivers between 17 and 20 grams of protein. But it is not just the amount, it is the type. Greek yogurt is rich in whey protein fractions and casein, both of which have different absorption rates. The whey acts quickly, flooding your bloodstream with amino acids within about 30 minutes of eating. The casein moves more slowly, providing a sustained release of building blocks for the muscles over the following 2 to 3 hours. For a body dealing with anabolic resistance, this dual delivery is enormously helpful. A 2021 study in the Nutrients Journal showed that older adults who consumed dairy-based protein at breakfast had measurably better quadriceps strength after just 8 weeks compared to those who ate cereal-based breakfasts with similar calorie counts. The quadriceps, the large muscles at the front of your thighs, are among the first to weaken after 60, and they are largely responsible for your ability to stand up from a chair, climb stairs, and maintain balance. Here is the pro tip most people miss. Many people buy low-fat or non-fat Greek yogurt thinking it is healthier. But the fat in full-fat yogurt is actually critical. It slows digestion just enough to improve amino acid absorption, and it provides the fat-soluble vitamins your muscle cells need to respond to protein signals. Choose full-fat, plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Add your own berries if you want flavor. Never the flavored varieties, which are loaded with sugar that actively interferes with muscle repair. Number 6. Whole eggs. The egg has been unfairly demonized for decades, and the consequences for seniors have been significant. Millions of older adults, warned about cholesterol, switched to egg whites or avoided eggs altogether, and in doing so, removed one of the most complete muscle-building foods available to them. Let me be direct. For most healthy adults over 60, whole eggs are not the enemy. They are one of the most important foods you can eat in the morning. Here is why. The yolk is where the real power lives. It contains leucine, the specific amino acid that acts as the master trigger for muscle protein synthesis. It is leucine, above all other amino acids, that tells your muscle cells to shift from breakdown mode to rebuilding mode. But leucine is only part of the story. The yolk also contains vitamin D, which is essential for muscle function and is deficient in an estimated 40% of adults over 60. It contains choline, critical for the nerve signals that activate muscle contractions, and it contains healthy fats that support hormone production, including testosterone, which even in small amounts plays a role in muscle maintenance for both men and women after 60. A landmark study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that men over 65 who ate 3 whole eggs per day, combined with resistance activity, had 40% greater muscle protein synthesis than those who ate only egg whites. 40%. All from keeping the yolk. 2 to 3 whole eggs at breakfast, scrambled, poached, or soft-boiled, is one of the simplest and most powerful changes you can make today. Number 5. Cottage cheese. This is a food that many people associate with diet culture from the 1970s and 80s, and it fell out of fashion. That is unfortunate because for leg muscle rebuilding after 60, cottage cheese has a very specific advantage over almost every other breakfast food. It is the richest whole food source of casein protein available. And casein is the slow-burning fuel your muscles are starving for. Here is the mechanism. When you eat cottage cheese, the casein proteins form a gel-like substance in your stomach, slowing their own digestion. As a result, amino acids enter your bloodstream gradually over the course of 3 to 5 hours. For muscles dealing with anabolic resistance, this prolonged delivery window means more time for uptake and more efficient use of each gram of protein consumed. This is especially important because one of the key failures in muscle maintenance after 60 is not just how much protein you eat, but how long your muscles have access to it after a meal. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that older adults who consumed casein-rich protein at breakfast retained measurably more muscle mass over a 6-month period than those eating fast-digesting protein sources like fruit smoothies or cereal. A half cup to a full cup of low-sodium, full-fat cottage cheese in the morning, mixed with a handful of walnuts and berries, is one of the most underrated muscle breakfast combinations available to adults over 60. I want to share something with you now. Because numbers 5 and 6 sound simple, I know some people wonder if these small changes really produce visible results in real people. Let me tell you about Patricia. Patricia was a 68-year-old retired school teacher from Minneapolis. She came to my office after her husband noticed she was holding the wall when she walked down the hallway in the morning. Her legs felt, in her words, like wet cement when she first got up. She had accepted it as aging. She was eating a bowl of oat cereal with skim milk every morning, sometimes a banana and a glass of orange juice. She thought she was being healthy, but her breakfast had almost no protein, no leucine, no slow-releasing amino acids at all. Her muscles were waking up with nothing to work with. I asked her to make two changes. Add 2 whole eggs and half a cup of cottage cheese to her breakfast every single morning, no other changes. After 3 weeks, she came back. She walked into my office without touching the wall. She told me, and I will never forget this, she said, "Doctor, my legs feel like they belong to me again. I walked to the corner store yesterday without thinking about it. I just walked. And for me, that was everything. This was not a miracle. This was her muscles finally receiving the signal they had been waiting for. And you can experience exactly the same thing. If you are finding this helpful so far, I want to make a quick request before we continue. Please subscribe to this channel. My mission is to provide clear, practical health information designed specifically for adults over 60, not the generic advice that ignores how our bodies actually change with age. And please share this video with someone you care about. A parent, a sibling, a friend who complains about weak legs or trouble with stairs. A single share could genuinely change the direction of their health. Thank you. Number 4, smoked salmon or canned salmon. This one surprises people. Most think of salmon as a dinner food, but putting salmon on your breakfast plate may be one of the most powerful things you can do for your leg muscles. Here is why it earns the 4th position. Salmon provides the rare combination of complete high-quality protein, along with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, 2 compounds that do something most breakfast proteins cannot do on their own. They directly reduce muscle inflammation. After 60, chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary mechanisms behind muscle loss. It disrupts the signaling pathways that allow amino acids to enter muscle cells and be used for repair. Omega-3s, particularly from fatty fish like salmon, have been shown to reduce this inflammatory interference, essentially making the protein you eat more effective. A 2020 study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that older adults supplementing with omega-3s showed a 35% improvement in muscle protein synthesis response, meaning their bodies were using protein more effectively, not just consuming more of it. 3 ounces of smoked salmon at breakfast, with 2 eggs and a slice of avocado, is a combination that addresses both protein delivery and inflammatory interference simultaneously. Here is the pro tip. Canned salmon is just as effective as fresh or smoked and significantly cheaper. Look for wild-caught varieties packed in water or olive oil, add it to scrambled eggs, place it on cucumber slices, or mix it into cottage cheese for a complete and powerful morning muscle meal. Number 3, chia seeds. These tiny seeds have become popular for vague wellness reasons, but the specific mechanism by which they support leg muscle rebuilding after 60 is rarely explained clearly. Let me fix that. Chia seeds contain a remarkable combination of plant-based protein, omega-3 alpha-linolenic acid, magnesium, and phosphorus. Now here's the critical piece. Magnesium deficiency is present in an estimated 60% of adults over 60, and it is one of the most overlooked drivers of muscle weakness. Magnesium is not just a mineral. It is a required cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the reactions that allow muscle fibers to contract and relax properly. Without adequate magnesium, muscles do not receive nerve signals efficiently. They fatigue faster and they recover more slowly. Many seniors describe their legs as heavy, unreliable, or cramping frequently at night. In a significant portion of these cases, magnesium deficiency is a primary or contributing cause. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds provide approximately 95 milligrams of magnesium, nearly 25% of the recommended daily intake. Add that to Greek yogurt or cottage cheese the night before, let it absorb overnight, and in the morning, you have a dense, muscle-ready breakfast that works while you eat it. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging found that adults over 65 with adequate magnesium levels showed 27% better lower limb muscle performance compared to those with insufficient levels. 27% from a mineral most people are not even thinking about. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had leg cramps at night? Or that heavy, stiff feeling in your legs when you first wake up? If yes, type cramps in the comments. If your legs feel weak or unreliable during the day, type weak. Your response helps other viewers realize these are real, addressable problems, not just inevitable aging. Number 2, hemp seeds. This is the food that surprises most people the most. Hemp seeds are not a wellness trend. For adults over 60 trying to rebuild leg muscle, they are close to nutritionally perfect. A single 3-tablespoon serving of hemp seeds provides 10 grams of complete protein, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids, including leucine. This is extraordinarily rare in plant-based foods. Most plant proteins are incomplete, missing one or more of the essential amino acids, which limits their effectiveness for muscle protein synthesis. Hemp seeds are the exception. Beyond the protein, they contain a near-perfect ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, which supports the anti-inflammatory environment muscles need to repair efficiently. They are also rich in arginine, an amino acid that improves blood flow by stimulating nitric oxide production. And here is why that matters for leg muscles specifically. After 60, circulation to the lower extremities naturally declines. Reduced blood flow means reduced nutrient delivery to leg muscles. When you improve circulation through arginine and omega-3s simultaneously, you dramatically increase how efficiently protein reaches the muscle tissue where it is needed most. A 2021 study in the Nutrients Journal found that older adults who added hemp seed protein to their daily diet showed a 22% improvement in lower body muscle endurance after 12 weeks compared to a control group. 22% improvement in 12 weeks, just from adding this one food. Sprinkle 3 tablespoons over Greek yogurt, blend into a smoothie with cottage cheese, or stir into overnight oats. Hemp seeds have virtually no flavor, which makes them one of the easiest additions to any existing breakfast routine. I want to tell you about James before we get to number 1. James was a 74-year-old retired firefighter from Atlanta. He came to my office after his daughter called me on his behalf. He had stopped going to his weekly fishing trips because getting in and out of the boat had become too frightening. His thighs had become so weak that he was falling when he tried to step over uneven ground. He was 74, still mentally sharp, still motivated, but his legs were failing him. He was devastated. He told me, "I have fought fires for 30 years. I cannot believe I am afraid to step over a rock." His breakfast was coffee and toast. Every single morning for years. No protein, no healthy fats, no leucine signal, no magnesium. His muscles were waking up to nothing. I put him on a structured breakfast protocol. 2 whole eggs, 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds mixed into full-fat Greek yogurt, and a small piece of smoked salmon. Every morning, no exceptions. I told him to give it 30 days before judging anything. At 6 weeks, he came back. He had been to his fishing spot twice. He had gotten in and out of the boat both times without help. He sat across from me and said, "Doctor, my legs do not feel like borrowed equipment anymore. They feel like mine again." I went fishing. I came home safe. That is enough for me. His daughter called me the next day to thank me. That phone call is why I do this work. And what happened to James is available to you starting tomorrow morning. Before we continue with the like button, if this video is helping you see your morning routine differently, please hit like right now. And please subscribe so you never miss a practical health solution designed for where you actually are in life. Number 1, eggs combined with a leucine-rich trigger food, specifically the combination of whole eggs and either Greek yogurt or hemp seeds consumed together. I know I have mentioned eggs already, but here is why the number 1 item on this list is not a single food. It is a specific combination protocol that unlocks something none of these foods fully achieve on their own. And this is what almost nobody is doing correctly. The research on anabolic resistance in adults over 60 has pointed to one clear conclusion. The threshold for triggering muscle protein synthesis does not just require more total protein. It requires a critical concentration of leucine delivered rapidly and sustained over time simultaneously. A single food cannot reliably do both. Eggs provide fast-absorbing complete protein with high leucine content, powerful enough to trigger the synthesis signal. But the signal fades. Greek yogurt or hemp seeds provide the sustained delivery, the slow-burning fuel that keeps the muscles in rebuilding mode for hours after that initial trigger. When you eat them together within the same breakfast, Within the same 30-minute window, you create what researchers call a biphasic amino acid response, a rapid spike followed by a sustained plateau, and this pattern has been shown to dramatically outperform either food eaten alone. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition specifically examined this combination approach in adults between 65 and 80. The group eating fast and slow digesting proteins together at breakfast showed a 40% greater increase in muscle protein synthesis over a 12-week period compared to the group eating the same total amount of protein, but from a single source. 40% greater. That is not a marginal improvement. That is a fundamentally different outcome. The formula is specific. 2 to 3 whole eggs cooked in any form, combined with either 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt mixed with 3 tablespoons of chia or hemp seeds, or half a cup of cottage cheese with a serving of smoked salmon. Eat this within 45 minutes of waking. Do not delay. The post-sleep anabolic window begins narrowing after about 60 minutes, and the opportunity diminishes. Here is the pro tip almost no one applies. Add black pepper to your eggs. Not just for flavor. Piperine, the active compound in black pepper, has been shown in multiple studies to increase nutrient absorption by up to 20%, including amino acid absorption into muscle tissue. This tiny habit costs nothing and takes 0 extra time. Now let me tell you exactly how to put all of this together. The morning protocol starts the night before. Set out your ingredients. Have your Greek yogurt or cottage cheese in the front of the refrigerator. Soak chia seeds overnight by mixing 2 tablespoons with a 1/4 cup of yogurt and refrigerating. Have your eggs ready. In the morning, within 45 minutes of waking, before coffee, before your phone, before anything else, start your breakfast preparation. 2 to 3 whole eggs cooked in any style. Add black pepper generously. Your overnight chia yogurt or fresh hemp seeds stirred into fresh yogurt. If you have it, add a small portion of smoked salmon or canned salmon alongside. Eat slowly, chew properly. Digestion begins in the mouth. Within the first 3 days, many people notice a subtle improvement in morning leg stiffness. That heavy feeling upon waking typically begins to ease because your muscles are starting each day with actual fuel instead of fasted depletion. Within the first week, most people report that the effort required to stand from a seated position feels meaningfully less demanding. Stairs feel slightly more automatic. Within 2 weeks, you will likely notice improved stability during daily walking, better endurance on longer distances, and often a reduction in the frequency of nighttime leg cramps. Within a month, and I have seen this repeatedly in my practice, people around you will comment. A family member will notice. A friend will ask what changed. Your doctor may remark on your strength at a routine visit. Do not make these critical errors. First, do not skip breakfast and try to compensate later in the day. The post-sleep window is unique. No other meal in the day has the same muscle rebuilding potential because no other meal follows the overnight fasted rebuilding state. Second, do not rely on protein shakes or powders as a primary solution. Whole food proteins contain cofactors, fats, and micronutrients that isolated powders cannot fully replicate. And for anabolic resistance, the full nutritional matrix matters. Third, do not use flavored sweetened yogurt. The sugar content in flavored yogurts triggers an insulin response that actively competes with the muscle protein synthesis signal. Always choose plain, full fat, and add your own fruit if needed. Consistency is everything. This protocol works because of repetition, not because of any single perfect morning. Treat this like brushing your teeth. You do not brush your teeth once and expect permanent results. You do it every morning because the benefit is cumulative and protective. Leg muscle rebuilding is exactly the same. Your body is not broken. Your breakfast was broken. And now you have the information to fix it. So let us recap what we have covered today. 7 breakfast foods that actively rebuild leg muscle after 60. Number 7, Greek yogurt for dual protein delivery. Number 6, whole eggs for leucine and muscle activation. Number 5, cottage cheese for sustained casein release. Number 4, smoked salmon for complete protein with anti-inflammatory omega-3s. Number 3, chia seeds for magnesium and phosphorus to restore muscle signaling. Number 2, hemp seeds for complete plant protein and circulation support. And number 1, The combination of whole eggs with a sustained release protein source, eaten together within 45 minutes of waking, for the most powerful biphasic muscle rebuilding signal available without a single supplement or medication. Each one of these foods has real, measurable science behind it. Each one is accessible, affordable, and simple to prepare. And when you combine them, the effect is not additive, it is multiplicative. My message to you today is not fear. It is not panic about muscle loss. My message is this: you are not losing your legs to age. You are losing them to breakfast habits that have never been corrected. And that is fixable. Starting tomorrow morning, here is my challenge to you. Commit to this breakfast protocol every morning for 30 days. Not most mornings, every morning. Track how your legs feel on waking. Notice how stairs feel at the end of 2 weeks. Notice whether family members start commenting on how you move. Give your muscles 30 days of what they have been waiting for. And now I truly want to hear from you. Which of these 7 foods surprised you the most? Was it the hemp seeds? The combination approach at number 1? Or did Patricia or James remind you of someone you know? Share your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and your story matters more than you know. If this video helped you, please smash that like button. Subscribe to this channel for clear, practical, senior-specific health information every week, and share this with someone who needs it: a parent, a sibling, a friend who tells you their legs just are not what they used to be. That one share could be the turning point for someone you love. Because remember, aging does not take away your body's ability to recover. It simply asks you to care for it the right way. Take care of yourself.